Sorry.
Welcome to the Reseller Stew, episode number 41. I almost forgot what show I was on and didn't know what I was going to say. So today we're going to be talking about what we put in our cart, kind of things that we don't really have to research. We just kind of see it and it goes in the basket. So, but anyway, how's everybody's week?
Boo! Boo!
Doing good.
I don't know what happened, but like my weekend was amazing. My sales were awesome. I had lots of stuff to ship out on Monday. And then it just died. I had no sales yesterday at all. I have had none today. Like, eBay don't like me.
Right, same here. I had a good weekend, but now it's dead.
Yeah. I got cricket, so maybe it'll just come in one big burst. I think everybody's scared about the elections tonight. Maybe tomorrow we'll have better sales and people are trying to, soak up their sorrows in commodities. So, yeah, April, you said your week was down too, right? Are you there? April's got a bad connection, so if she pops out, that's fine. But you think it has anything to do with like how we're having slow sales, or is it just lack of listing, or what?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, yeah, I was gone. I was out, but now I'm back. Why are my sales slow? Is that what you're asking? Yeah, I haven't been listing as much as I do sometimes, but I have been listing. So, honestly, there's no real justification for my sales to be down the way that they're down.
Yeah. See, my last week was great. Like, every day was over $100, like every day. And then I had a great, weekend. And then it just, nobody wants my junk. They're all prepared. Maybe everybody's prepping. They're all, I don't have any, like, prepper goods to sell. Like, so, I was selling bags of rice, maybe. I don't know.
This is going to be an interesting evening for sure.
I was just thinking about turning off the computer and the TV and just like maybe cooking outside and not even looking at anything at all.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, it just sounds like a good idea to me.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and get into well, does anybody have anything else they want to talk about before we get into our typical topics? That rhyme. Typical topics.
I have an exciting thing that's going on in my business right now, and I am going to send Deb a shot so that she can share. I am getting ready to move into a larger storage unit because I've outgrown my 10 by 10. It's like packed to the gills, and I have.
You went out.
Come on. Campus Wi-Fi. You can do it. April has to share her Wi-Fi with how many other students on campus? Oh, I can't hear you now. No. Nope. Don't you hate technical issues? It always stinks. I wanted to hear the news.
I did too.
I think she did it on purpose for like climax reasons, and then like she's gonna release a video later going, "Oh, remember when you couldn't hear me?" Like,
cliffhanger.
Yeah, exactly. And
right. What did she say she was in right now? A 10 by 10?
I think so.
That's pretty big.
Well. Yeah, but she's got a lot of inventory though. No.
Aww.
So, nope. Yeah, so she's got a lot of stuff going on. Because I think she says she's at like 900 in inventory. That's a lot. Plus unlisted stuff.
Yes.
Need more space. Need all the space you can get. Okay, so let's go ahead and get in our stuff. Did you go shopping this week, Tanya? I know Tanya right now is supposed to be on a buying freeze.
Right? Talk is cheap, right?
I think you need to take all your credit cards and put them in water and put them in the freezer like they say you're supposed to do.
Yeah, make a big ice cube.
I can just see her at the store trying to chip away at it. So Tanya's on a buying freeze, but did you go shopping over the weekend?
I did. I picked up a couple things. I get this at a garage sale. It's a okay, it is by Mad Bomber, and it's a hat and it's rabbit fur.
I thought that was a stuffed animal walrus.
No, it's really soft. I really like it. I kind of want to keep it for me, but it really never gets that cold here. So anyway, I paid $2 for it, and I'm going to list it probably for about $39.99 because I think the size is desirable and the color. So
I found one of those. I don't know if it was the same brand, but I found one at the thrift store, and I ended up giving it to my dad. And it just shedded, like it shed the whole time. So he was like trying to wear it, and he's like, it's just like in his face the whole time. I have a trivia question for the chat. Can any of you guys guess how many hats Tanya has in her personal collection?
it looks just like this, but they're all different colors.
What about you, Yvon? Did you go shopping? I know you had to.
I did go shopping. I went shopping yesterday, and it was a great trip. I'm really excited. I bought, I found another black halo dress, and Robin helped me look it up. It's the Jackie O Houndstooth. Now, the last black halo dress I found, we talked about, I sold for $100, so I'm pretty excited. It was $7.99. I got a really pretty Hale Bob maxi dress. I'm pointing over here because that's where they're hanging up. And I was just looking it up. I see another one on eBay right now for $100. I'll probably start it around $80. I got some brands I didn't know. That was great. Some Harley Davidson. Little bling vocal t-shirt matches Tanya's hats. I was, can I take a moment? Yesterday was interesting for me because, okay, so now I've got Dad settled and I'm really trying to get more serious and up my sales, right? So yesterday when I was shopping, I'm like, I really want to increase my ROI. I'm studying important people, and I remembered something Deb said, pecking for profits. I'm like, okay, I have stopped picking and I am now pecking. So I started putting things back. I even put back some Pendleton jackets. I'm like, no, the ROI is not good enough on this. I'm like, and I felt really good about my purchases. I came home and I felt really good. It was a manageable amount, all good ROIs. So remember that mantra that Deb put in our heads, what was it, like a year ago? Pecking for profits, because that will help you when you're outsourcing.
Yeah, Yvonne mentioned that yesterday, and I was like, I totally forgot about that. Like, because it so worked for me at the time, because it's like you said, when you really start to zero in on better products or higher dollar, you come home with a much more manageable amount of items. Yes. And then you can list them, and if you run out, go back again tomorrow. You know, like
that's the fun part. Anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you're coming home with, 5, 6, 7 things, if they're $50 items, you can sell them for $50. That's amazing. You list those 6 things and then you go back again tomorrow and get 5 or 6 more things.
Right.
Unlike me, who goes to the store and is like, I'm going to get a whole cart of stuff. And another cart, like.
Well, remember your own mantra.
I know. I need it tattooed, like, on my hand somewhere.
We're going to get you a t-shirt for your birthday.
I know, but it needs something that, like,
no pecking for profit.
Face, though. It needs, like, some, like, thing that comes and goes, poof, and I can't see all this stuff. I didn't go shopping. Maria had I've been going on Wednesdays because she has art class. And last week she had a choir concert. So I didn't go shopping at all. I don't think I bought anything for reselling. Not even. Maybe that's why my GoDaddy sent me an email and it actually said I made profit this week because I didn't have more expenses than I had income. So is that how that works? Is that Normally, it always sends me some message like, "You made negative $442." Like, oh, great. So, yeah, so I didn't go shopping at all. I did list yesterday. I was listing the stuff that I bought the week before last. So I did list about half of that stuff, I believe. And the boots are back here because I forgot all about them. I took them to the repair shop to get the tips because the tips were like broken. And the guy at the shop told me that even like high-end boots on the stilettos, the tips are cheap. He goes, even on like really high class stuff, they'll just break. So I got new tips put on. I forgot all about it. I went over there and got them yesterday.
What do they charge to do something like that?
It was $11.95.
That's not bad.
That's not bad for a higher end item.
Yeah, it was $11.95, and then so I listed them last night. I have a watcher already. I don't know if it's another. They're not really. This is the only brown pair on eBay. All their other pairs are black.
Yeah,
So
that's good.
I listed them last night. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, so no exciting shopping information from me. What about you, April? You back? Can we hear you?
Yes.
Yay! Yeah, it sounds better too.
What are we talking about?
Well, can you finish telling us your exciting news while you're here? And
Oh, I was talking about moving into a bigger storage unit.
Yes.
For about a year and a half, maybe, I've been in a 10 by 10 storage unit, which is in a pretty decent location. It's where I do most of my sourcing, to be honest. But I have outgrown that size. So now I am going to be moving into a 10 by 20, which is very, very exciting.
Yes.
how much do those cost you where you live? Because I know y'all's property prices are way cheaper than ours here. What are they charging you for a 10 by 20?
A 10 by 20 is going to be about $200 a month.
That's probably about the same here.
Yeah, it's weird because like they charge like $100 for like the 5 by 5, like the tiny little one. Like,
yeah. Once you have gotten used to the expense, it's not hard to absorb an increase in the expense because the increases never are much. And I started out in like a 5 by 5.
yeah, it's like a little closet.
Mine is a 5 by 10, and I think they charge me $70 a month.
Yeah.
So do you go to your unit every day, April? Like every time something sells? Do you run by there and pick stuff up?
Somebody does. It's usually my boyfriend goes to the unit. He is in charge of the unit when he works for me, which is when he feels like it. So
I thought about getting a unit, but then I was like, man, I don't want to have to go over there for like that day that I have one sale. You know, like
that's the worst. That is
or
the
like
worst.
God, somebody asks me a question about an item because I don't even want to go out onto my back porch when somebody asks me about an item, you know? So it's like, I don't have to go all the way. It's not even all the way. It's like right there, you know? But then, you know, I guess if you...
Go ahead.
If you have a routine, I guess it wouldn't be that bad. You know, like if you had a routine where you're like, okay, I'm going to go in the morning and get all of my stuff that I sold yesterday. Mm-hmm. And I'll go in the morning and I'll get my stuff. And then like, maybe I'll go to the thrift store, you know, like maybe.
Maybe, you know, you will.
Definitely maybe go to the thrift store. And then, you know, and then come home. It actually would be kind of good just for people that don't get out of the house like me, where I can just stay in my house the whole day until I have to go to the post office. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll get one. Probably won't.
I do. I love having a storage unit. I'm a huge advocate for it. I know for me, I've never had a home. I think it's really a different situation. It's a different animal if you're living in an apartment and you're trying to resell because things can overcrowd you. And I believe the best way to get around that overcrowding issue is to move your inventory off-site.
And not only that, you can focus on what you need to list, because I don't know about you, but I only keep like listed stuff in my unit, like stuff that's already listed.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I keep outside. Like I have what's on my patio is just all listed stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of us get overwhelmed if like things are too like stuff is everywhere.
If they were together in the same room, I couldn't function. It would be a catastrophe.
So for some people, it's really smart if that's the way you have to operate. Keep your head clear.
Yeah. If I had my listed stuff in the same room as my unlisted stuff, it would be a mess. Because that's just me. I'm kind of a mess. But
Me too.
okay, so I guess let's get into our sales. Let's start with Miss April. She sent me over some good ones. She went holding out this week.
Not me.
All right. So here's April's. This is your Hugo Boss cashmere blazer.
Nice.
How much did you pay for that?
$6.
Did it?
Yeah.
How long did it take you to sell that bad boy?
Less than a month.
So what do you look for whenever you're looking at this? I mean, cashmere, obviously, and you can fill cashmere, right? You don't even have to.
Yeah, absolutely. Cashmere is always, I mean, I actually had that on my list. Cashmere sweaters as well. Any cashmere that's in good condition is usually a go, despite brand. You can't go wrong with a nice cashmere piece. As far as I go light brand, style, it depends a lot on the season. And like this time of year, I'll pick up much heavier suits, whereas going into the spring, I'll start to look at those lighter blend suits, the linens and the cotton blends and the lighter colors. So there are a lot of different factors that I look for when I go to suits and blazers, but it's my favorite thing to sell because there's always a ton of things to sell. There's not a lot of competition.
And then here's your other one you sent over, the Oxford. Also cashmere.
Yes, Glen Plaid. It was a really, really nice jacket. Someone made me an offer on that one very early, which I rejected because you just don't see that Oxford clothes and Abercrombie combination. It's rare. It's not something you're going to come across every day. So I held out on that one.
There's the tag there. Oxford clothes, Abercrombie and Fitch. Am I the only person that says Finch? Not Fitch, but Finch with an N.
Probably.
I'm stupid. That's okay.
We got
like
you.
Abercrombie and Finch. But I don't think I've ever even been in that store. I just walk by.
It's loud in there.
Too loud. So loud.
Is it the one that smells like it just smells like straight up cologne?
I don't know, but the music's too loud and it's too
It is
dim,
very
dim
loud.
lit.
And it's dark. You can't see anything.
You can't see anything.
Yeah, I know there's a store in the mall. I don't go to this mall very often, but oh, that's true. I never even realized that. I'm sorry. King Flip just said, I just realized Deb's shows are food related. And I never even realized that because I have eBay's and bacon and I have the stew.
That's true.
I never thought about that before. Maybe it's the fat girl in me. I don't know.
Oh, hush.
I have to come out with a new show. I'll do like lunch with Deb. Veggie Picker says yes, that Abercrombie is the store that smells. Like they smell like cologne. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I got really off topic. Where were we?
Somebody's sales. Tanya's? Are we done with Robin? She had great sale. I mean, April had great sales.
I know. I wish I understood suits.
I'm trying to learn from April and from Ronnie. And from Closet M.
I just don't do clothes, so I don't have the motivation to like learn a new thing right now. Because you really, when you learn something new, you really have to dive into it, you know. and just focus on that thing for a while. And I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, Miss Tanya, I have your sale up here.
Okay, this was a really good sale. It was Maritime Books, a licensed course, captain's course. And I picked these up. I think I cannot remember if I paid $1 each or $1.99, but we'll just say I paid $1.99, so that's $8. And I had it up for $149.99, and I received a best offer for $100. So I definitely accepted that.
That's awesome.
Totally awesome.
Yeah. I had a lot of good book sales this week. I also sold another book I picked up for $5 at the antique booth, and it sold last week on eBay for $59. So a lot of times when I go up to the antique mall, I'll walk around and I'll source up there.
That's awesome.
That's a hard category, like books and DVDs. I think that's a hard category to pull the money out of.
Really?
Very impressive.
I think it's easy money.
Yeah, they're doing great.
I think there's just so many. It's like really overwhelming. Like, because there's just shelf after shelf after shelf of 50 books. So there's 1,000 books at the Goodwill.
Yeah.
In the chat, they were asking about April's channel. It's the Reseller's Learning Curve, but I always put everybody's channels and Facebook groups and everything down in the description of the show after the show ends. So you can find it down in any of the descriptions of the shows. But it's the Reseller Learning Curve.
April, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you should make a video about moving to your bigger unit. I'd love to see it.
I may do that, but that would actually require me doing some of the work, which I had not planned on doing. So
No, you just film it.
Yeah, just ask, your boyfriend to shoot some footage, and you can what's the word? Voiceover.
This guy does not do cameras. He actually covers my computer in my bedroom. He covers the camera with a towel because he thinks the CIA might be spying on us. So
I cover mine too. When we're not using it.
I do too. I cover it.
I have a piece of tape on my phone too when I'm not.
Really? I never thought about my phone. Should I be worried?
The one that faces, the one that faces us. Yeah, that one's got a little sticker on it.
I always just I don't do anything with my stuff. I always just assume that they'd be like, "Oh, look at that! Oh no, okay, never mind."
They can.
No mas. Okay, so we are on Miss Yvon, correct?
Yeah.
We got your store up here. Which sale did you want to talk about?
I guess my best. Okay. Oh, that Dale of Norway sweater that I talked about last Thursday. That sold later that evening for $78.
Very nice.
So happy. Y'all remember that tip. And it's so funny. It actually went to Woodland Park, Colorado, 40 miles up the mountain. That's just crazy. I thought that was crazy. I sold Eileen Fisher dress for $48 finally. I don't know what was wrong with that dress, why it took so long. That shouldn't have taken that long. I guess my best sale, kind of bittersweet. It was I hope I'm saying it right, Erdem. It's not Italian or French, so it's not Erdem or anything. I think it's Erdem. It's from England. It's a celebrity dress.
Hold for a second. I need to say how awesome this gallery photo is that you have presented here on this sweater. Is that not an amazing gallery photo? If you saw that in search?
Yeah,
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
The Dale of Norway that I'm showing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's that's a really great setup for your gallery photo. Okay, go ahead.
It had a lot of features that I tried to squeeze in without doing a collage. It had a lot of, that I wanted to get into the first picture. It was either that or a collage, and I thought that worked okay.
Yeah, no, it looks great. I think that looks way better. I mean, that looks better than a collage. That looks very good.
Thank you. So up a little bit is that Erdem dress. That is a very high-profile celebrity dress in England. Kate Middleton wears those a lot. I felt like I wanted to get around $160 for it. I don't know why I couldn't. I don't know why. I went ahead and took best offer of 80 because it's been a while. That dress I feel like should have sold for more. They're very expensive, but I went ahead and let it go, and it was $7.99, so I'm good. I'm good, and the buyer is going to be, so happy. That's probably my biggest things.
That's a good size too, a 10.
Yes.
That's a good size.
So nothing else
dress.
Great, just some bread and butter stuff.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I like your pictures.
Thank you. I'm working on improving.
I think like my pictures are too, I think because of what I sell in general, like my pictures are very, I don't know how to describe it. Like technical, like, it's just like, oh, well, this is this, and then there's a defect, and then here's this. And yours are really good at like just kind of showing off the actual item. Like, this is a nice item, and look at this detail, and look at that detail. While me, on the other hand, I'm all technical about it. Like,
right.
Oh, here's a scratch, and here's a thing, and here's a, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like,
what do you edit with, Yvon?
Huh?
What do you edit with, your pictures?
I just do everything on my iPhone, and it has an awesome editing tool if I need it. And with the last update, they even added a marking tool where now you can like even write on them if you want to add text.
No way. What update is that?
Oh my gosh, the last one. I don't know.
Really?
I'll go look in a minute.
I haven't done it yet. I have to go check.
I told you about it when it happened. It was a couple weeks ago.
You did? Well, then maybe I looked.
Yeah, I was like, there's some good new functions. Now, if I want to do collages, I take it over to my app, Photos R Us. That's the best one I have found. If anyone knows a better one, let me know. But it was free.
Yeah, I use one.
But since I got my lighting kit, I hardly ever have to edit anymore. I really don't. So you guys, get a lighting kit if you don't have one. Robin just bought one. I'm so excited for it. Can't wait for it to come in.
I use Live Collage.
I'll check that one out. So far, Photos R Us is working great for me, but it is a free app, so there's some ads. So I'm open to one that works well with no ads. I'll pay a little bit for it. I'm cool with that.
This one's super easy. I mean, all you got to do is plug in your pictures and save it to your camera roll, and it's real easy.
Yeah, I do almost everything with the iPhone, like 95% of my eBay with my iPhone. Can't wait to upgrade to the 7. I usually use all 12 pictures, and sometimes if I want more pictures, I won't pay for them, but I'll go make collages to show, I'll put tags together.
Yeah, that's smart.
One photo. Anyways, that's
a good idea.
Okay.
Deb.
Sorry. I was reading the chat.
Oh, how are we doing in there?
I was like reading, and then I noticed like that the screen wasn't moving like when you were talking, and I was like, oh, I'm still presenting myself because I put it on me for the screen share so that way it would stay up, and I forgot to take it off. So like you're talking, I'm just sitting here like reading the chat, like reading the chat, like sorry. Okay. I sold some things too. Yay!
Yay!
I had a really good week last week. I think I was just under $700. It wasn't bad. Okay, so I had found this strange looking Santa.
It's so cute.
I know. I had never seen anything like it before, but it caught my eye because I was just like, that is really kind of cute, And so I picked it up for, gosh, I don't remember. It was $4.99 or less. It's really big, and generally the stores, when it's a bigger plush, they're going to charge a little more for it. So it's 24 inches, so it's 2 feet. And if you look, it says Mrs. Noah and made in the USA. So anything made in the USA, you automatically kind of just like it triggers something in you. So I got to looking it up, and I couldn't really find a good reference to this item. I did find some Miss Noah, but they were all pretty small and nothing of this size, and nothing that was a Santa, So I had it priced up much higher than this. I think I had it somewhere like $69 just because of its rarity. You can see it's ending in a 6. Everything that I repriced when I was going through going, just blow it out, blow it out, blow it out. I put a 6 on the end. So you
That
can see
is such a good idea.
it sold for $34.96. It makes it easy when you're doing revisions, for you to know like where you ended off at, you know, because I don't do them all at the same time. If I have to do something and go in and individually do it, or I'm, that if you try to do something in bulk and you have 500 things loaded into the thing, it's going to error out. You'll end up with an error. You lose everything you just did. So I tend to do them in batches of like 50. And so it's easy for me when I change it, to know, okay, I've already changed this one, or, this is where I left off, or this is one that I put on sale,
Right. I'm going to do that today. I'm going to run a little experiment.
Me repricing that stuff did really well. I mean, I sold through a lot of stuff, and my sales have increased quite a bit. And I have to say that it has to be just off of me changing my pricing, because I haven't been doing a lot of listing.
Like, did you significantly lower the price? Or just
they were going down by, sometimes half.
Okay.
But I mean, things were dropping I dropped things from 49 down to 34.
But that's without best offer, right?
I took best offer off.
Okay.
I was like, if I'm going to make it half of the price that I originally set it at when I did research and said, okay, this is a good price, and I'm going to sit there and say, okay, I paid $4 for it, so I'll take $29. I'm not going to take best offer on it. You can just buy it.
Right.
I did the research originally. It was worth $50. I'm willing to take 30. You pay 30.
Yeah.
And then another thing that I sold that actually sold pretty quickly, and I did price it. I went on the pricing of the kind of turn and burn kind of thing, that I just didn't want it sitting around waiting on that buyer. So I priced that Penta game at $49.95. I could have priced it a lot higher. I did consider pricing it at about $89, but I just didn't want it sitting here, and I was only in it for $5. So I priced it $49.95. You can see it had no best offer, and the guy paid for it, and it was gone. It was only listed a couple of days.
Is that a stock photo or your photo? That's a good picture.
This is a stock photo, because my item was actually sealed. Like, my item was in its box, and I didn't want to open it. So this is a stock photo.
I've never heard of that game.
Me neither, Brett. I had it in the back of my mind from something. I think because there is a game that starts with the P that's worth a lot of money, but I don't remember what that is. But for some reason, it triggers in my brain that it's PENT, but it's not. I know it's not.
Is it that Perquackery? What's it called?
I don't know, but I know there's a game that's worth like $200.
Oh, it's not that one.
And it starts with a P, but I can't remember. It's like stored somewhere back here in my brain that I don't got the key for anymore. And yeah, if anybody in the chat knows what that game is. So anyway, but those are the two kind of main sales that I had for the week. A lot of the stuff that I sold was just bread and butter stuff. Y'all know my store. You can go look at it. I love it when people on YouTube in the chat, and I'm not downing anybody. I love all my viewers. But when they're like, what's your store? And I'm like, wow, you don't try it all, do you? Because I don't hide my store name. I don't change any of the names. It is the name. It's just like, just didn't even try. It's even on the screen, like when I do my screen shares, it's right there.
Right. Michelle says the game's called Pandemic First Edition. Is that it?
I don't think so. That doesn't sound right. No, that's not the one I'm thinking of, but that's a good one to know.
Mm-hmm.
Let me look at it. Yeah, that's definitely not it. This one is like it's wood. I do remember that about it. I think it's wood.
Like a wood edition?
It's got wood pieces. Yeah.
Okay.
I think. It's in my storage bank back here from like 3.5 years ago. I don't know what it is.
Well, if you remember, you'll have to make a post in the stew.
Oh my God, if I could remember everything that's stored up in my brain, I'd be a millionaire. April, are you back?
I think so.
Yay! Got you. Look at that persistence. So do you have anything you'd like to talk about on your what you put while you're here? Let's get to you first. On what do you put in your cart when you're at the store that you don't have to research, you don't have to look it up?
I have a list.
Pieces of paper. Okay, got it.
Obviously Brooks Brothers suits. I think I've said that 1,004 times. I always buy Brooks Brothers suits. I spend anywhere between $10 all the way up to $50. I've spent $50 for a suit before, depending on a number of different factors. It could very well be worth that. The second thing, I always pick up men's high-end dress shoes in great condition, because if they're beat to death, it doesn't matter what the brand is. You're going to have a hard time with those. And the next one is quality outerwear, almost any brand. I mean, quality outerwear can be something that literally has no brand. But especially this time of year, the first place I go in a thrift store is the coat section.
That's a good idea.
Is there a particular model or material that you look for in the outerwear?
No. I mean, I sell everything from wool coats to vintage starter jackets to vintage parkas. I have 2 J. Crew pea coats sitting right next to me, women's pea coats that I listed this morning.
How much did you list them for?
I listed those for $59.99 each. One of them is a beige women's peacoat, and one is a orange mohair women's peacoat.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
So we have a store here in Austin that always year-round has a really impressive, like, outerwear, coats and jacket, and it's nothing's mixed in. It's all women. Here's women's coats and jackets. Here's men's coats and jackets, and it's a whole rack year-round. And there's some really great stuff in there, but I've never really paid a whole lot of attention to it.
That could be your new niche. And that could be the reason why you get a storage unit, because you got to store all those coats.
Yes.
Yeah, because they're not going to fit in here. If I start bringing home, if I brought home 20 coats, it would be too many coats.
Right? They do take up a lot of room.
Yeah, they're not small. All right, what about you, Tanya? What do you always just go, oh, look at this, and it's one of those, and put it in your cart?
Well, gosh, I don't even know where to begin. There's a ton of stuff. There's always something in my cart. Okay, so shoes. I love to do the shoes. Like I wrote down a few brands like Dansko, Birkenstock, Salvatore Ferragamo. I mean, I don't look those up. I would just put them in my basket. With clothes, I do well with Chico's, like those stretchy travelers pants, and they even make the shirts like that too. They sell really well. And certain kinds of books, like for example, the one I sold last week, the maritime books, you just know that certain things are going to bring good money.
How do you identify your books? Because like I was saying before, it's just like there's so many there. Out of all of those books, how do you know? Because otherwise you just stand there and scan them all.
No, and I don't spend a lot of time scanning. I really don't. So I've just been doing it for so long. I kind of have a good feel of what to look for. But also I implement my color sticker rule, right? So on Sundays, Goodwill changes their stickers. So let's say, I think this week it's gone back to blue. So when I get to Goodwill, all week long, I'm only scanning for the blue tag initially. So, because I know everything that has a blue tag is going to be new. So that's another way that I kind of find the new stuff easily. And if it looks good, then I'll scan it. No, I'm out of the romance section. There is no money in that. It was fun while it lasted. We had a nice little fling going on, but yeah, that's over and done with.
They got divorced. They broke up.
We broke up.
The passion is gone.
It's over.
She's moved on to bigger and better books. What about you, Yvon? What do you? I know you have an incredible knowledge of brands that I've never heard of. you know, because you have a fashion sense that I don't possess.
So
So
my background. So
yeah. So what do you like? What do you throw in your cart?
well, when I say this, the disclaimer is this would be from the. We have an echo. This would be from my usual thrift stores where I kind of know their pricing. Okay. Of course, anything Harley Davidson. I don't hear any sound. Are we okay, Deb? Should I keep talking?
Yeah, you sound good.
Okay. And of course, athletic and athleisure are my favorite niches. So anything Lululemon, anything Lorna Jane. I think I've mentioned Lorna Jane before. It's like the Australian version of Lululemon. And then some of the basics that are going to sell usually pretty quick. Eileen Fisher, St. John, I recently learned. Johnny Was, one of my favorites. These are things that I typically can't even find in my area. Anything Kate Spade, Tory Burch, and Etro. Now, and anything from Italy, like if it's like got like April says, if it's got some cashmere, some silk, especially if it's made in Italy, it's probably a safe bet. That's all I can really think of.
Yeah.
That's a lot of names like that I don't know.
Well, you don't really concentrate on clothing.
I don't know nothing. I'm just pitiful. I want to know though. It's one of those things that that kind of irks me that I don't know about it because I like to know things. I'm like in the know. I want to know things,
Right.
and then it's like I don't know anything about. You know, it's like I don't know that. You know,
I know something you know about. Selena, like if you see anything Selena with us living here in Texas.
Yeah, I know. And I found that one shirt.
Yeah.
I've
never found anything.
Yeah. I don't know how much
I
I could have sold that shirt for.
found one Selena. It was last month. I already sent it to Chad.
Really? What was it?
It was just a cute little a take on what is that? Keep Calm and Bitty Bitty Bomb Bomb.
Oh yeah. I saw that.
I think he said they had made them at that festival that he went to, and they had already bought a little onesie for his granddaughter.
Yeah.
And so it was a medium. Maybe Katie can wear it. I don't know, but I'd already sent it to him.
The blouse that I found was actually from her boutique. It wasn't a concert shirt or anything like that. It was from her boutique of
Yours is
her
more
clothing
rare.
line. Yeah. So that was awesome. Okay, so me, what I put in my cart. I always put in my cart Peasel makers. They look like little chrome sandwich makers, but they're worth over $100. I typically have found them for less than $8. I've only found, I think, 3 or 4, but they're one of those things that I see them and I get revved up. I get all excited. I'm like, oh, yay! And then I just put it in my cart and I chop down the aisle, you know? Those, anything that, I mean, most Villaware stuff, you know, Villaware, it makes Peasel makers, but however you want to say it, I say Peasel. But Villaware stuff I've had a lot of success with. I have found, and they're pretty easy to see because they're mostly chrome, you know. I found a Mickey Mouse Villaware toaster that would toast Mickey onto your toast. But I sold that thing for like $90.
Nice.
And, yeah, and I paid $4.99 for it. But yeah, so Villaware I just put it in my cart. Like KitchenAid mixer pieces or KitchenAid pasta pieces that they have for their pasta. Those pasta things, they're chrome. The pasta dealies that go, a set of those they sell for $180 or more. They're super expensive. So yeah, anytime I see a Cutco wood,
right.
Cutco knife blocks or little wood blocks or anything Cutco in the cart. With shoes and stuff, if it's, you know, men's dress shoes, any Chukka boots generally will do really well. Like if they're in good condition. like desert boots and those kind of things. I always look for Allen Edmonds if they're in good condition. Now the ones I always find, they're like, man, what'd you do? Like, you wore them, they were really good, and then you put a marathon in it. What did you do with this? Did you go hiking in these? Like, I don't know what happened to them, but they just got blown up. I will try to pay attention to, let's see. I always buy the Coca Motions. I've talked about those for years now. They have a cycle of life. They are not going to sell during the rest of the year. They will not start selling until October. But if you get them and you just store them in a closet somewhere, you can sell them for over $40 once the winter has started. And they sell really easily merchant fulfilled on Amazon. Because not a lot of people send them in for FBA. So merchant fulfilled is really all they have. And they're not going to pay the $200 that people are trying to charge for a new one. It's kind of one of those things that the price gap between a new and a used is so huge that you have no problem selling your used ones. What else do I buy? I'm always looking for hidden Mickey bears. Even though I don't specialize in plush anymore, I'm always looking for them. So I always do a quick scan over in the plush department for those little feet, because he has little Mickeys on his feet, and I always look for them. And you can always kind of tell because the fur that he has is that, I don't know how to describe it. It's that rippled fur, you know, like it's not all even. It's rippledy and kind of shiny. I always look for that fur, and it's kind of easy to spot that kind of fur in the mix of all the plush. And then I just kind of look through those. And I found those twice, so they're out there.
I've got a couple myself.
Yeah. And there was a common misconception that I got corrected on recently, just out of old knowledge, on the hidden Mickey bears, that the Duffy bears that used to not have a value at all because they were the new ones, in recent times, if you go look at them on the larger ones, they're actually over $100. The ones that have the Duffy tag.
I think that's why sorry.
I'm fine.
I think that's why I'm still sitting on mine downstairs, is because I'm like, okay, what is this? Duffy, pre-Duffy? You know, I got to sort all that out.
Yeah, well, the story was originally, they came out with the bear. It was called the Disney bear. It wasn't very popular in the U.S. They discontinued it. It came in, I think in 2008, they discontinued them. Over in Japan, they kind of exploded. And they were very popular. Well, the bears that were here, the ones that had gotten discontinued, the ones that were pre them being called Duffy. Duffy was when Disney re-released them, and they named him Duffy. Because he came out of a duffel bag or some kind of... So his name's Duffy. So that's why they're called pre-Duffy, because that was prior to him having a name.
Oh.
Yeah. So when you found the ones that had Duffy on the tag, that meant that's a Duffy bear. If it didn't have Duffy on the tag and it just said Disney Parks or whatever, it was a pre-Duffy bear, because it was before Duffy even existed.
So is that more valuable? I have a Disney park, and he has the
Disney
Mickey.
Parks ones are more valuable.
Oh.
There was a moment in time that the Duffy bears that had Duffy on the tag weren't really worth anything. I passed up one at the store because I was like, you know, they're worth $15 and they wanted $4.99. I ain't gonna buy it. Well, now some of the larger ones, the 24-inch or 28-inch Duffy bears that actually say Duffy on the tag, are selling for over $100. And some of the ones that say My First Duffy are also selling for a decent amount of money. So the time is kind of cycled that it's been so long now that even the ones that weren't as valuable.
Let's see a Duffy bear. Can you bring one up?
No, I'm just going to talk about it and you're going to research it yourself.
I'm going to have to rewatch this so I can learn from you.
Oh, we're a learning show. Oh, well, let me share then.
I've got a couple downstairs with all my plush. But
you need to get those listed.
We're talking about this little bear, and you can see he's got his little Mickey on his feet, and he has a Mickey on his face. He's also going to have a little Mickey on his butt.
Hey.
This one used to not be worth anything. You could sell this thing for like $15. Now the price has kind of gotten up there. It's over $50 on this Disney bear.
That looks like one of them I have. Yeah, I'm gonna pull them out today.
Are they always that color, or they're different colors?
No, they're different colors, and if you can find the colored ones, like blue, or there's a mint, there's a purple, there's a pink, there's a red, that's where your money comes in. So see, here's a pink one, $500.
Wow.
There's a mint one, $425. So the colored ones are worth quite a bit of money still. The price has gone down over time. Originally, whenever you found one, it was like amazing because you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to sell this for $800. And as time has gone on and they've gotten on more and more BOLO lists and more people have talked about them, the price has gone down because people are like, oh, I paid $250 for this at the garage sale. I'm going to sell it for $100 because I want that $100. So the market value has gone down on them because they've gotten more available. The price has kind of dropped. I mean, it was not uncommon 4 years ago to see one $1,200. And they're going to ship to Japan typically. So you need to make sure you offer your Japanese shipping. But anyway.
That's an interesting topic that we should do sometime. You know, like how for all of us to be fair and price things right, you know, like for the bigger picture. But anyway.
You can't, though. I mean, it's monopolizing an industry that you can't do. It's like how you can't on Amazon. If you have something priced at $49 and some new seller comes in at $19, you can't contact that seller and say, look, doofus, we've been charging $49 for 3 years now, you know, and you want to come in at 19.
Just talk about a proper mindset of not undercutting too much. Like,
but the thing about it is the too much is always a little bit for everybody. So if you have it priced at 29 and I come in and price it at 28 just to be a little bit less than you, well, then somebody else is going to come in and price it at 27 to be a little bit less than me. So no matter what, no matter how close you really stay, it's going to drop regardless.
Just something you have to deal with.
Yeah, it's just something you have to deal with. And a lot of times, and this is what I try to tell people, hold your price.
Yeah, same thing on Amazon.
Hold your price, because just because somebody has it cheaper than you doesn't mean that people want to buy it from that person.
Right. The feedback could be different.
Also, in the industry that we're in, a lot of the things that we're selling are used. So everything is in a different condition. It's harder when it's all new. Everybody's got a new item. There's nothing different about it. It's new. But when you have a used item, every one of those items is different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so they're not all going to be valued the same. They're not all going to be priced the same. People didn't buy them at the same, you know, so just hold your price. If you think it's worth a certain amount, hold your price.
Sorry, I hijacked it. Where were we at? I hijacked the conversation.
I was going on way too long about bears. That's where we were at. Another thing I will always throw in my cart is little Einsteins. Anything little Einsteins I see, whether it is bedding or toys or videos, the VHS on a little Einsteins, you can sell for $25. $25. It costs you, what, 50 cents for VHS at the Goodwill? So anything little Einsteins, I will chunk it in the cart. What else? Anybody want to buy a Speak Out game? I actually got this to give as gifts. I don't generally go deep onto anything that I don't plan on just giving as gifts if they don't sell. So, I'm trying to think. I mean, as far as appliances that I buy to part out, I mean, Breville juicers are really good. I mean, you can't really go wrong. Other than that, the fact that some of the stores will try to charge you $30 for them. But if you can get them for a good price, they're definitely worth it. You'll sell one part and make your money back. I'm looking around here like, what do I have that I can talk about since I didn't make a list? Oh. The for real horses, the butterscotches, the big ones, if I can buy those for a good price, like $50 or less, I'll always buy those because they part out well. I won't ship one because I worry about their necks breaking, but they part out really well. You can sell just the battery cover for $50 to $75. So you'll make your money back on that. If it has all the accessories, those carrots and bridles and all that stuff that they come with, they'll make your money back on that horse just on a carrot and a saddle. But yeah, so I always pick those up if they're priced well. I won't pay over $50 for them though. And a lot of times people are just trying to get them out of their garage. They take up a lot of space and they're just sitting there and their kid wanted it and they bought it for Christmas, and then by January 15th that kid didn't touch it ever again. So that's it. That's all I got right now. I should have made a list. But does anybody have any questions in the chat? Because we're coming up on we're at 1. So if you have any questions, Tanya, did you see any?
I didn't. Did you see any, Yvon?
No, we just chatted and gave good information, and they were great in the chat. They were talking to and tips.
Here's one. It says, do shaving cream warmers still sell? Yes, they actually do. They did drop down for a while there. I think they hit too many BOLO lists. So for about a year, it was kind of iffy on them. But the last couple that I saw, I looked them up and they were worth picking up. So I brought them home and sold them. They're still selling for $20 to $40. The chrome ones, I think, do the best. And they're not even really chrome. They're just chrome colored plastic.
You don't see them very often anymore in thrift stores either.
I don't think I've ever seen one.
It's been a long time.
Oh, I've probably sold 8 of those things over time. I had one a couple months ago that I found. It wasn't new, but it was in the box and it was in really good condition. Because, you know, sometimes you get them and they're just caked up with, well, you see them and they're just caked up with shaving cream.
Yeah.
And you can't clean them. I tried to take one apart one time. Bad idea. It's got ball bearings in there and all kinds of stuff that just pops out all over the place. I was like, well, that was a mistake.
Darlene wants to see the horse you were talking about, the for real one.
Oh, it's, gosh, girl, you can't miss it if it's at the store and you see a giant horse. I mean, they're, let's see, let me find it here. Butterscotch for real. All right. And it's getting that season, you guys. They are worth money now. They weren't for a little while. They're kind of a seasonal thing, too. Here we go. Here's a horsey. It's a life-size horse that your child can ride on.
Oh, wow.
Moves. Yeah. The problem with these suckers is that they're big and hard to ship. They have to go freight, and if you don't package them properly, their neck is kind of fragile and it'll break, and then it won't work. Like, then they won't function the way that it's supposed to on being a realistic looking horse. Chad just bought one. I don't know why anybody would want one without a battery cover. The bad part about the battery cover, and the reason why the battery cover is worth so much money, is because the batteries actually go in the cover. So you can't power this thing without the battery cover. It's not like it's just a cover that goes over the batteries. The batteries go in it, and then you stick it on the horsey. And then it moves. I dismantled mine. I even took off its face fur. It was the scariest robot moving thing with these eyes that were like this.
Oh my gosh.
It was so frightening. I had a blanket over it, and Maria comes in and she's like, "What is this?" And she pulls it back. She goes, "Oh!" April, do you have any exciting news before you... Oh, she left. I was going to ask her, but yeah, she got to go back to work. Any other questions?
I don't think so.
I need a new chair. This chair, that's what I need to ask for my birthday, a chair. This chair sucks. And yeah, I need a new, I saw somebody on Facebook was selling a Serta office chair.
I've never heard of that.
It looked plush. Oh my goodness. I'd never get out of that chair. I'd be like, where are you? I'm in my chair. Yvon, do you have any news for the week? Do you have anything coming up? Any videos you're making? Anything exciting that you're doing?
I think I'm going to, my channel is pretty sad. It just has reseller shows. I'm on it. My reseller crush, Lonnie Oscar, of course, and then some random family stuff. So I think I'm going to make my first haul video. When we're done, I'm going to go watch Prof Sales. He's on now. I'm going to eat lunch. I think I'll try to do my first haul video.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
Okay.
Should be awesome. Alrighty, what about you, Tanya? Anything going on?
Yeah, I'm going to have my October eBay sales update coming out sometime this week. And tomorrow night, Margaret and I are supposed to be on the Green Room Hangout. So
what are you going to talk about?
We are going to be talking about eBay, antique booths, and probably a little bit of merch.
Sounds good. Sounds good. What time is that at? Because I always miss them.
Right. It's at Wednesday nights, 8 o'clock Central Time.
All right. That's 7%. No, 6 o'clock Pacific.
Yeah. Don't ask me. I'm time challenged.
I don't have anything special going on. I keep talking about these videos that I'm going to make, and I just never get around to them. I'm trying really hard, you guys. But
You're doing great. You've been putting out a lot of content.
I haven't put any content since last week, like the beginning of last week. And I was supposed to put out like 3 other videos because I've got to do this parts video.
It's only like Tuesday. Don't beat yourself up.
I'm trying. I'm trying. I just never make it. But yeah, I've just got a list, and that's where I'm focused right now. I'm supposed to, Maria has her art tomorrow, but I don't even know if I'm going to go shopping. I got enough stuff here. I don't know. I'll have to see. But
shopping.
Don't tell me what to do, Tanya.
No shopping.
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and head out. Make sure to join the Resellers 2 Facebook group. You get the notifications for the show. You can ask questions over there. All of the panel members are members, and that's where you can get in contact with us the easiest. Everybody have a really fantastic week. I hope the sales come back because mine's still nothing's going on in the land of eBay. So, all right, you guys, thank you so much for watching us, and we will see you guys next week.
Bye.